Good morning everyone, it's a nice late morning start. So, Toba, let's talk about Mount Toba. I could bore you with a script that I've prepared and drone on about it for hours, but there was the point. The best thing to do is Wikipedia it, because I edited the page quite a lot, and so let's go in there. So first of all, let's do a quick overview. So this is Lake Toba. Lake Toba is basically it's inside the caldera. So this is the caldera, all the way around the outside. There's land built up. There's been a couple of explosions. I think there were 4 in total, of massive supervolcanoes. And the last supervolcano that exploded here was around 74,000 years ago. 73,500 to 74,000 years ago. And this is recent-ish. This is a general upfilling of the magma chamber underneath has pushed the land up above the surface of the lake again. So the lake a few thousand years ago would have been completely just lake here. This wouldn't have been here. And yeah, this was a supervolcano that exploded. So let's look at what we had. So the major thing that it got linked to was this supposed bottleneck in history, but of the bottleneck in human population, or the population bottleneck, which generally is not really, that's sort of been disproven-ish now. That's more likely to be caused by the out of Africa syndrome. And we'll get into that in a minute. So it was originally thought that this was the cause of a major global climate event and the killing of populations, but that's been proven to not really be true. It killed a lot of people in South Asia, and we'll get into the amount of material that fell everywhere. So let's get into that. So 73,500 to 74,000 years ago, yeah. Was the last of 4, there you go, the last of 4. VEI-8, largest known explosive volcanic eruption in the Quaternary. That is just... yeah. Oh. So, 600 metres thick deposit of ash by the main vent. And 15 centimetres of ash, most South Asia, and in central India one place, 6 metres of it. Now just think about that. Let's get a map up of the world. Wait a minute. What? World map, so you show me. Set off. So what we're saying is that ash from here went over there enough to cause 6 metres of it. 6 metres of ash, so it must have been a massive plume going that way-ish. Because it's only 15 centimetres over this area, but it's 6 metres over here. That's a lot of ash. So yeah. That's central India, not just on the coast. So yeah, it's definitely a big event that happened. As for these so-called catastrophe theory, it's sort of been proven that the bottleneck wasn't real, but there may have been some cause down the southern tip of Africa, where the East African, these animals recovered from very small populations. Well, when they say recovered from, I mean there must be some sort of proof that there were many more of them before 70,000 years ago, and then even more of them were there after 55,000 years ago. So something may have caused a decline in populations, and the Toba eruption happened at the same time. It may be that there were 3 or 4 supervolcanoes kicked off all around the world. Could be a comet that hit us, could be anything. But it's sort of been proven that Toba wasn't the cause of it all. Just a bit of it, and a lot of it in Asia. So we do have these extinctions of... what does that mean, 0.78 watt? More than 10 kilograms. What? $10 kilograms of large mammal species. What? Maybe you need to be a scientist to understand that, but it sounds like a lot of rubbish to me. The proportion of extinct large mammal species during the last 130... Compared to what? Proportion to what? That doesn't even make sense. I'm getting very confused by this. Does this mean that 0.78 of a mammal species went extinct in the red ones, and no extinctions occurred in the blue areas? So what it's saying is that around everywhere apart from Asia and Africa, mammals were going extinct at a rate of 0.78 of an animal above 40 kilos. So I think what they're trying to say is that animals below 40 kilos weren't dying off and animals above were. But there's a very large amount of confusion for me on this colour scheme and what the 0.78 is compared to the 10 kilograms. Oh, sorry. More than or equal to 10 kilograms. I don't understand why it says 40 kilograms there, though. Because this is what this is saying is that there were more animals dying off in areas that weren't affected by this than there were in areas affected by this. So something else was killing off all the animals around the world, but there weren't many dying in Africa and India and Asia and South Asia. So that sort of contradicts this explosion killed loads of people. Nonetheless, look at the size of that. That is massive. Let's just measure it on Google Earth, I think. "85 kilometres. 85 kilometres by, what was that, 20 kilometres? Yeah, 30 kilometres. So 85 by 30 kilometres of the Earth was blown out and spread around the world. It's a very, very large amount. We fueled up yesterday before we went off and had our break. So it should all still be in there. Yep, we're pretty full today, just in case. That didn't look like that yesterday. So let's watch them warm up a bit. And while they do that, let's just take a closer look at our flight plan. Just me putting the flaps out. So we're at Kutacane at Alas Leuser, and we're going to fly to Kualanamu, which is our final destination. 270 miles roughly, 280, something like that. Should take an hour and a half. Obviously I won't record all of it. I do wish it had stopped telling me there's an alert and then not giving me what the alert is. It could be like, there's an alert, but you've got to guess what it is. It's not very helpful. Wait, what? It's loading the flight plan from last night, which is a bit strange. There we go. So we're now on the correct one. So let us beat off. Yeah. Did not see a windsock. Cannot see a windsock. So I guess we'll take 15 again.
Whiskey India Mike Uniform Traffic Java 1 is taxiing to runway tree.
Once again, I'm pretty sure I pressed 15, but okay. Very bizarre.
Whiskey India Mike Uniform Traffic Java 1 is taxiing to runway 15.
That's better. Clear left and clear. So full flaps. Trim slightly up. Alternators are on. Fuel is on. Engines are running. Temperatures are okay. So we shouldn't need too much height because we're just going to go down the bottom of this valley and then it should be quite an easy path through. So we'll go to about 5,000 and see how we are at 5,000. Actually, just stay at 4,000 to be honest. So to our left there is Mts Buluh and Behem, or Belem. I think it's Behem and Buluh, but I'll just check. Yeah, Buluh and Behem. Although there appears to be two Behems. Wonderful. And on our right there's just this little lumpy bit and another mountain there. Could be Sembala. And then the valley gets a bit convoluted down there where we've got some mountains sticking in the way. So maybe that's Sembambala. I'm not sure. I don't know what that one is. That one could be Megaro. No, it can't be, can it? I don't know. I'll try and work it out in post. They're just everywhere. Look at them all. There's just things everywhere. It's amazing. I'm not liking this recent feature of Flight Sim where that's all blurry, and I mean, one of the reasons everyone was so excited about this was because the terrain was so well modelled compared to the real thing, and the buildings were almost real. It was like not as good as Google Maps is at building buildings, but it was pretty good. And to have it just a big blurry field in the distance, which is really close, I mean, it's just rubbish. Fields, blurry thing. Fields, blurry thing. I don't know what's going on. And once we get over this little mound, we should be down into the valley where the crater is going to be. Now that's an impressively large mountain over there. I think that might be Mnt Singgalang. And the clouds are back. So that the plane has been slowly rising up to meters. We've run out of room basically, so I've just put on another 1,000 feet, and we'll start to turn in towards the caldera. These are the calderan outliers, and then the caldera itself proper is just well, you can't really see it, but that is an edge of a crater, and on the other side of that just is going to be a lake about a couple of 100 feet below that line there. So it looks a bit like the Grand Canyon from this distance, but yeah, that is the caldera all the way around the other side. And the lake's going to be inside. That's going to be Singgalang. There was another Singgalang earlier on, so that's at least one other Singgalang that we've been past on our earlier trips. And we're going to fly past Singgalang, not into Singgalang hopefully, although that does look like we're on a bit of a collision course. And there's the lake, you can see the lake now. So that isn't the outside of the caldera there. Oh, this is the caldera. That's just the island inside the lake. So there we have it. That is the caldera of Mount Toba that exploded and covered India in 6 meters of ash. The lake that formed inside it, and the island that's now growing inside the remains of the volcano, probably to form a new Mount Toba, which will then explode in a few 100,000 years, or several 10,000 million of years, and hopefully it won't do too much damage. So we've worked out how to get around that by then, or move to Mars. Thank you, Mr. Musk. "85 kilometres long lake." All of this exploded and blew out across the world. Incredible. So what they're saying is that this plateau here has been caused by 500 meters of ash, and naturally the land will be that low over there, like it is over there in the distance. So that gradual build-up that we were seeing as we flew towards it, was the ash gradually building up to 500-600 meters thick. Meters or feet? Feet thick. I don't know, I can't remember. Amazing. So I'm going to enjoy my trip around it. I'll record a bit more if there's anything more exciting over the other end. But for most people it's just a boring trip around the lake. So we've reached the southern end and we're going to start our turn in a second if we don't hit that big hill. Come on, turn. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's quite hard to see, but this is the bit that got filled up with ash, and you can see that's much lower over that area. Well, that's probably why Sumatran coffee is so nice. It's built on ash. Built on ash. It's made from ash. So we're going to carry on around the lake. It's great for me. I'm absolutely loving it, but yeah, not so exciting for other people. So as you can see, the clouds building over that area, over the ridge, the mountain ridges. So we're definitely at the best time to see this. Absolutely loving it. And we're going to fly into some weather once we leave, because that's the northern end of the lake is now covered in clouds, so hopefully it won't get too rough. But then we're going to head off and do our landing and end our trip around Indonesia. It's been absolutely wonderful. It's been a year's worth of work with some massive gaps in between, but I have absolutely loved it. It's a wonderful place. I mean, I'm not going to say you're lucky to live there, because I'm sure there are some problems with living there. But I mean, you can't really want for anything. It's forested, it's, you know, full of water that you need to drink. It's got animals and stuff, flora and fauna to eat. It's got the biggest flower in the world. I mean, yeah, volcanoes. Not such a good thing when they explode, but generally it's really good for fertile soil. So as humans, yeah, it's a nice place to be. And just look at that lake. There's probably a lot of fish in there. Anyway, I'll carry on flying around and then get back to you once we start doing our descent into landing probably. So that's that now, we're leaving the mountains behind. Flying over the plain towards our intended landing area. It's quite a wide expansive plain on this side. So probably another, 50 miles apparently. So I'm going to descend now to maybe 5,000 feet. And then I'll get back to you once we start to get close to landing.
Tower Java 1 is 4 miles southwest 3,200 feet with Oscar to land.
Java 1 Tower. QNH 29er.80 wind 250 at 5. Fly straight and runway 05. Java 1 wind 250 at 5. Clear to land runway 05.
Clear to land runway 05 Java 1.
What the hell is that thing doing?
Java 1, hold position caution. The
Yeah,
Airbus on the
I already have, because you were a bit late telling me, mate, weren't you?
Java
Let's
1,
face it.
continue taxi.
I'm going to wait until he's gone, to be honest with you.
Roger, Java 1.
I mean, I know it's only a game, sim thing, but I am quite emotional. That's an amazingly long trip and it's over. No! Whatever will I do next? African Rift Valley, that's what I'm doing next. Oh yes. All the way from the north down to the south. Lakes Victoria, all the other lakes. Yeah, everything like that. Because it's volcanic and I love volcanic and plate tectonics. I can't just, I can't live without them. So that'll be my next thing. That's what I'm going to do next, is the Rift Valleys of Africa. And yeah, after that, Philippines maybe. Not sure, but that's the end of our journey today, and our journey around Indonesia. It's been absolutely wonderful. Been some amazing flying around the craters of volcanoes. Was inside the crater of a volcano, flying around it was just absolutely amazing. I just wish I could do this sort of thing in real life. Unfortunately, can't afford it. I'm not a millionaire, so there you go. But for the few people that have watched, I mean, there's 25 people maybe seen 10 seconds of each video, so thanks for watching and catch you again.